Of the Work the Web training program. This is Agile Ventures. My name is Thomas. I am running this program together with Mike and Anya. Anya is away today, preparing to get married, which is great. Congratulations, Anya. We miss you, but you're in a better place than with us, I guess. I totally understand that. Sure, just leave us. No, kidding. Hope you have a fantastic day preparing for the wedding. Today we're going to dive, not so deep, but at least dive into WebSockets and build a small application together, hopefully together. Um, and this is one of the sessions where we try to cover a little bit of technology behind the that powers the internet as we know it. And so I will start with a few slides, and I really have only a few slides today for you. And then we're gonna build stuff. That is more fun actually than listening to me talk. Well, I will still be talking while I'm coding, and you will hopefully be coding along with me. But it's a totally different ballgame. However, why do we even bother to talk about WebSockets? Because it's a revolutionary thing. It's a fantastic thing. It it's not easy not to use big words or superlatives when you talk about WebSockets because it's such a great thing. It is an evolution of the request response uh, architecture that is like the foundation of the World Wide Web or the internet as we know it, or and request response is a variant of the client server architecture of web technology. Now, what WebSocket does for us is that it breaks away from the limitations of request response or client server, and they allow for a long open or long held single TCP connection or TCP socket being connected and to between a client and a server, and establish that connection, hold it open over multiple requests, which is something completely different than what we are used to on the net. And so that in turn allows for bidirectional flow of data exchanges or message exchanges with full duplex to add to it. Uh, and and you can do that, again on a single TCP connection, which wasn't being made possible before. And in practical terms, what all of this does is that it allows multiple computers, multiple devices, to communicate with each other at the same time over one single network connection, which is amazing in itself. So what you know as push notifications, for instance, on your phone or on Facebook or what have you, somebody likes your post, and all of a sudden you see this notification that somebody liked your post. That is made possible using WebSockets and not regular HTTP flow. Now, I don't know what's wrong with my computer at this point. There we go. Right. So, in terms of support of this technology, they are there is native support in all modern web browsers, which is good. So all modern implementations of JavaScript supports WebSocket, and even the good people at Microsoft have embraced that technology. Internet Explorer being a weird kid on the block in terms of what is possible to do with JavaScript. But there are also library or implementations for most languages. Of course, Node.js, but Objective-C, Swift, .NET implementations, C Sharp, Ruby, Python, all of the big ones allow for WebSockets to be used. And It's pretty easy to implement WebSockets, by the way. You probably will be amazed. Well, I don't know what amazes you. We don't know each other that well, but you probably be amazed by how simple it is. And if we talk about like, because there's a very high level of abstraction here, you don't have to deal so much with the technology part, which is great, right? It's a very modern library. Uh, and what we need to do is to establish a handshake between two devices, and that handshake is being established when a regular HTTP request is being upgraded to WebSocket, right? So the initial connection is made over HTTP, and then that connection itself is being recognized as a WebSocket request and are being upgraded to that protocol. Uh, and that then you just let the server know that you are here to become a client and vice versa. So that is the handshake. And then, the actual data transfer is being made if on a need to perform basis. Uh, so again, the client sends a regular HTTP request to the server with a specific header. That HTTP request, they always have headers, and so in that header we ask the server to upgrade our connection to WebSockets. And if the server actually supports WebSockets, then it responds with another upgrade header, and the initial HTTP connection is replaced by a WebSocket connection that builds up on top of that. It's the same TCP/IP connection that the party already created, and we're ready to get going. And there are a few events. Again, simple. Now there are events that you can listen for. Again, JavaScript being an event-based language, so there's a lot of things that are being triggered on various occasions. Occasions, yeah. And we can listen for those events. The first event is of course the open event, that when the connection is being established. Then there is another event called message, and that is when data is being received. And then of course, if there is an error, we listen for that error and we can output that. You do whatever, you can add some error handlers or whatever you want to add. And then we also have a close event, so when the connection is being closed. And the reason why we have that one is of course that sometimes our connection can be closed for reasons that are outside of our or against our own will. Then we should be giving a chance to reopen that connection, right? Often if it's closed in connection with an error, then we probably want to have an error handler one way or another. So all of this is pretty simple, and we can work with that. So let's build something. That's what I wanted to cover with you guys. I mean, there's much more from a technical perspective, of course, but I don't think we need to talk about this now. We can get started with actually building some code. And this will be an experimental session, so we won't be writing tests in this one, because it's just a workshop, right? It's not like we're going to build something super sustainable. So just by when we play around, we don't necessarily have to write tests to start with. So let's just build something. So I will create a new folder, and I will call it WS chat. Okay, and I'm gonna cd into this, and I'm gonna initiate a new yarn project in here like this. And then I want to add so the first thing we're gonna build is a server, a very small server. So the first thing that what I need to add is support for WebSockets in Node.js. So I'm going to say yarn add WS, and that will install um, install WebSockets as a dependency for me. So let's see if we can open this up in our code, in our editor, like this, and we can see that we have WebSockets in version 8, which is interesting. Okay. Is that, yeah, that's, I guess that's okay. So I'm gonna create as you see that in my package JSON, we're saying that the main file is index.js. I want to add such file here, so I'm just going to create index.js file, and in this one, well, actually, before we move on, let's add scripts tag. No, well, it's my, come on, get lost. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, I should be okay. Scripts. Come on, why is that not? There we go. Right. Start. Why is it so slow today? Again. Combo timer. What is combo timer? Boring. I was really hoping that we will get into a better session today, but no. Start. Yeah. So we're gonna ignore client. So we will do this, and that will be start server. Actually, sorry about that. We're gonna host both the server and the client application in the same repository. So I'm gonna say start server, and here I want to say start client, and that would be super static, and that will be in the client thing, and we're gonna start this one on port 3000. Right, so we need to add server. So we need to add two dependencies: yarn add dash d super static and node mon. Super static and node mon. Okay. Any questions about this so far? Perhaps I'm moving a bit too fast. By the way, can you say something just to check if the output is going out to Twitch?
Hello.
Yes, that worked. Good stuff. Thank you for
That's
that.
good.
That's good. Right. So super static. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you misspell servo? Is that the way it's spelled here?
Server.
Oh, okay. I see. It's fine.
Yeah, I fixed it. I did misspell it at the beginning, but I did fix it. Right. So NodeMon is. I talked to you guys about NodeMon before. It allows us to hot reload anything that we run on the locally when we run a Node.js application. And Superstatic is a small web server. So we will be using Superstatic to fire up our client application and our NodeMon to run our server. And our server will be extremely simple. It will be like almost too simple. So in the index.js file, the only thing I want to do here is to say this: const WebSocket equals require vs. You know, the the package that we just installed, the WebSocket implementation for Node.js. And then we want to create a WebSocket server, so we say const ws server equals new WebSocket, and we want to instantiate the server instance, and we're gonna run this baby on port, let's say 8080. In this case, we can run this on port 8080. So it will be a different port than the client, of course, because we can't have it. We can't run those two on the same in the same place, right? And so here we just want to say via server. Server on is the Node.js version of add event listener, if you know your vanilla JavaScript. So on connection, that is the event we will be listening for. On connection, we want to take the connection, and we want to do what? Well, we want to send off, let's say, a greeting, like send let's do so a little bit of HTML, so we can do h2
live long and prosper.
Yeah, live long and prosper. Live long and prosper. Okay. All right. So this is a very basic server for us now. Okay. We will update this later, but let's start with that. So I can now say node mod. No, actually I can do yarn start server, and the server will be started. Okay, so now we're gonna try this out, and we will try this out in a very manual way. So we're gonna take a browser. There is a browser, and we will open our developer tools in the browser. And in our developer tools, we will go to the console. Right, and we're going to clear the console, so it's like, empty. And then in this guy, we will do the following. We will say, and I can make this a little bigger for you because all the action will happen in the console. I can make this slightly bigger, right? So I can say const connection equals, and here I don't have to require anything because this actually works. So I can do, let's see, new WebSocket, and here I want to pass in a string, and that will be ws bum bum, and then localhost 8080. Okay, WebSocket ws 8080. Right. Okay, we got something, I guess. And in network, if we go to ws, we look at the local host, and you can see that the request was made, and it said switching protocol, right? Connection upgrade, and some stuff, right? But then you have messages, and here you see live long and prosper. Do you see that? I assume that you're saying wow in silence, but that's fucking wow. Yeah, it is actually wow. That is um, what happens is that we basically send this off, right? Uh, and let's modify the the code here. So we did send this off, but let's make this a little bit more interesting before we actually go into coding the chat functionality. So let's say that if this connection receives a message, so on message, then we have you know, a message thing, and we have a callback. No, there we are. Right, a callback, and then we just well we well let's see if we can just okay, so we can do this connection dot clients for each, because there can be multiple clients connected to the to the server, and then we can just do can we just do, yeah, I think so, client arrow function bum dum, and we just say client send, and we can say as a string interpolation you said, and then no, there we go, and then the message you said this. Right, let's see if this works now. So basically what we're doing, that if a message comes in to the server, we just take the message and send this off to every client that is connected to the server. Let's see if this works. So we're gonna reload this page, even though there's nothing to reload, but I want to clear the console. And let's clear this, and now we're just gonna reconnect this guy. We're gonna go over to the network, and we did localhost here, live long and prosper. Okay, that's good. And now we go back to the console and we say connection send, and we want to send hello server. Right. And what happened now? Clients for each of undefined. Cannot read properly. Clients for each undefined. Right. Web server. Let's see. I did something wrong, but connection that right. Connection clients. Message on message. Right. What are you complaining? Cannot connection clients for each. Really? Why would you say that? Isn't that a bad thing to tell me? Right. Let's try this again, because this should. So let's just do console log on this one first. Console.log, and the same thing. Let's just try that. So we see that we get this first, and we move this up here. Connection clients, right? That should in principle work. Right. So okay, this. So we're gonna have to establish this again, and now clear this. Right. So let's see. Let's establish this connection again. There we go. And now we send something off. Hello server. And now, so this works. You said hello server. The console log works, but then we get this thing. Why is this not accepted? So it's not being accepted as an ongoing connection. That's weird. Are you still with me, people? Or have you fallen asleep? I guess you're with me.
Yeah, we're here.
Right.
Just my camera that overheated.
Okay, no problems. But why isn't the connection established? Why isn't the connection established? Let's solve this from a different perspective. Or no, you know what? Let me just see if I made a small. So what if I just do? Let's think about it. What if I made a mistake on this? So I need to take this function, create a function here. So let's do function each, and then client, and remove this arrow function. Perhaps we are, but that's each client, right? Let's see if that works now. So what if we need to? Okay, that's closing. So we need to reestablish the connection. Right. Okay, so we need to do this, and now we want to do this, and he still finds it hard for each clients, connection clients. Okay, so what if we WebSocket required this, WebSocket server port 8080, right? On connections and live wrong, and then let's just do console table connection clients. There we go. Right, I must be making some sort of a mistake when I establish the connection, but there's like zero configuration here, so I shouldn't actually have to make, let's make this right, and we get undefined. Why do we get undefined? What the oh my god, that's me. It's not the connection, for God's sake, it's the VS server. Oh, come on, give me a break. Right. It's the VS server that has clients and not the connection. Damn it. Okay. So, let's do this again. Let's clear this up. Establish the connection. Right. And now we just do send. Right, you said hello server. right. And now if we go to network and we check the local host, now you see, and this is what I wanted you to see. Do you understand? Like the connection stays open. This is the big part. Now, the first message we receive in this chain of messages is live long and prosper. Then we can see that we sent off hello server, and then the server said, you said hello server. Do you understand? So there's an exchange of messages, and the connection stays open. If we look at the connection timing, we can see here caution request is not finished yet because it is constantly open. Now if I would issue, I think I can do connection dot close like this, and we go to network again. Now the connection is closed. Now it was open for 1 minute and 10 seconds or whatever, and that's it. You know, it's over now, and now I can't send anything again because there's nothing there, right? WebSocket is already closing or closed state. So now I would have to reestablish the connection again, and right. Well, so I can say connection. I think I can say open again. Can I do that? No, you can't. Well, I need to reload. I can't reopen it. So, but that's the spirit. I mean, that's it. Like, you know, we can establish the connection and open and close it and all of that stuff, right? So can we put this to a use? Well, I would say yeah. So let's just close this, open up a new terminal window. Open up a new terminal. We keep the server running there. There is not much we're gonna change here, but rather the only thing we want to say is we're gonna be sending off a little bit of JSON. So we want to say message equals JSON parse message, and when we send this off, we just want to say, well, perhaps without the you said, we're gonna JSON stringify. Oh, well, actually we can remove that. JSON stringify message. Right. And another parenthesis. There we go. Right. So what we want to do is to create a new folder. We're going to call this folder client, and inside of that folder we're going to create a very simple index.html like this. And again, this is just a demo, people, so we will keep everything in this HTML file, and you know, if you want to code along, you code along. Well, actually, yeah, well, I will send this out to you guys because you're gonna have to run this locally on your computer one way or another as a local file or what have you, if you want to take part in actually chatting with me using this this chat client. So there are a few things, you know, when we chat to each other, we want to select like a name for ourselves or nickname, and then we want to be able to send off messages and see who sent those messages, right? So I'm just gonna code this and talk to you, and if there's anything you don't understand, just fire away and ask questions. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so the first thing I want to see is if the connection is being established, right? So we can say something like h1 uh, the VS server said, and then I'm gonna say span with connection, something like this, right? And then we will create a div with an ID of messages, and here is where all the messages will live later. And then I will say create another div with an ID of nickname, like this, and inside here I'm just going to say input text, and the ID so name will be, oh come on, give me a break, the ID will be nothing, I get, no, the name will be nothing, and here will be nick input, and I can add a placeholder, and the placeholder is what is your name, something like that. Right. And then what else do I need here? Well, I need a button. So I'm going to say button, and I'm going to give it an ID of set nick, something, not button, but rather button. Right. Whoops. Right. And here I'm just going to give this set nickname, something like that. I don't know if nickname is one word or multiple words, doesn't matter. Okay, I think in terms of the UI, well, of course, we need another ID here, so I'm going to say div with an ID of chat, and here I want to say input text, and this will be no name, there will be an ID on this guy, and that will be chat input, for instance, and then another button, and we're going to give this guy an ID, and that will be send chat, and we say send, something like this. Right. Yeah, let's see what this one looks like. So we can say yarn start client. Let's have a look what this looks like at this point. Where's my, there it is. Right, so we're just gonna say localhost 3000, and this looks like this at this point. What's your name, and then send, and all of that stuff. And there's nothing that happens here because there's no functionality bound to anything of any kind of action in any way, right? So let's see if we can bind some interesting actions to these HTML elements. First of all, we don't want to be able to send any messages unless the nick is set, and once the nick has been set, we want to hide that view, right? So let's see if we can define a little bit of JavaScript here, right? So we're going to say we need a few variables. First, we need the nickname, we need the incoming message, we need, where is it, incoming message actually? Well, let me think about that. Well, we'll see. Let's say or welcome message, perhaps welcome message. Yeah, welcome message, and then we're just gonna say message body which will be our message that we send off. Yeah, something like that. Right. Let's see. I would say that the first thing we want to do now is to say const connection equals new WebSocket WebSocket, and that was right. That was WS localhost. What was it? 8080, right? 8080. Right. So now that we have the connection established, we will define a few things. Like, first of all, we want to say right, we want to identify those two, the nickname section and chat section. Actually, I'm gonna rename those to section. No, actually no, I'm gonna keep them as divs, doesn't matter. So I'm gonna just say const nick section equals document get element by ID, and that would be nickname. Nicks, well, I could say nicks, yeah, well, nickname, whatever. Okay, it's the naming could be a bit off, but doesn't matter. And then we say const chat section equals document get element by ID, and that would be chat, right? Chat. Okay, so we can say something that if there is no nick, like if nick is null, if nickname doesn't exist, then we want to take the chat section and basically hide it. So we're going to say style visibility, not style but style, Thomas, right? Visibility, and we're going to set that to hidden. Right, so let's see if we reload this guy now. Yeah, that hides the chat thing, so that's good. That means that this kind of works. Okay, so so let's see. Well, actually, we also want to add. I'm jumping a bit between the functionality here, right? But if we could say something like connection add event listener. Why are you doing this? Why are you? Why can't you just be nice to me? What the fuck? Add. Yeah,
So
add
you're
event.
cutting
There it is. Add event listener. Right. Right. So on open. On open. We just take the connection and there we go. Right. And we need to grab this connection display or whatever, connection display. There it is. Right, so we need to create that one. So we need to say const connection display and that would be doc display, right? And that would be the document get element by ID. So we have to understand that this is vanilla JavaScript, so it's going to be a lot of finding those elements and so on. And we just call this one a connection, right? And so on displaying or enabling this, we will just say connection display inner text would be what? Well, we could just say is it connection message? No, we're gonna say we're gonna say is open on this one, because this doesn't have it doesn't have a message, so we can't really say said connection. Actually, I'm gonna move this X. Right, no, we're gonna say server connection, and then we're just gonna say is closed, and then we will say connection is open when it's open, right? So it is open, right? It's closed for a millisecond, then it's open. So we just open the connection, right? But okay, I want to display the message, so we're gonna say connection add event listener, and then the event listener will be message, right? And then we just want to say right, incoming message. Oh shit, there we go. Right, and so here we need to get this one, messages, right? So we need to create another constant here, messages display equals document get element by ID, and that would be messages, right? And so here we want to say initially we want to say let new message equals document create element, and the element we want to create is a div element or whatever, it doesn't really matter. We're going to create a div, and then we want to say new message inner HTML or inner text. No, inner HTML. We can say inner HTML. HTML equals, and then that would be a paragraph, for instance, and here we want to string interpolate incoming message dot data, because it's wrapped in a data thing, right? So let's see if that works now, because we do get a message, hopefully. I don't know. No, we didn't. Well, thank you very much. Why not? Didn't we get a message? What? We did get a message. Messages, Ling, Love and Prosper. Okay, that didn't fly. Well, thank you very much. So we need to message income, on message, on message. Right, so what, okay. Debugger. New message. Oh, new message. No, I mean message display. Shit. No. It is new message. It was just me that was like new message. And then I just need to attach this. Sorry, I totally forgot. Messages display, append child. I forgot to do that. Append child, new message. Right, new message, new message. Right, of course. Let's try that now. Really? Why
Should it
would...
just be?
Once again?
Should it just be append?
No. Messages display. Why would this? Is this? Hold on a second. Yeah, so what is messages? Messages display is null? Why? Get element but messages. Messages display. Oh, because he misspelled messages.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there we go. Alright. So, spelling mistakes, people. That's all there is. Let's see if this works now. Live long and prosper. Boom. Right. Okay. Good stuff. Now, let's set the... So we passed that. And of course, you know, if this was a real thing, I would write test for all of these functions, right?
Yeah.
But we are in demo mode. So we wanted to set this nick, right? This is important. So let's define this nick button, right? So we're gonna define this baby. We need the button and the nick input. So we're gonna say const nick input equals document get element by ID, and that was, what was that? That was nick input. So I'm going to copy this just to avoid typos, and then we're just going to say const nick button equals document get element by ID, and that would be set nick. Again, the names can be better, but they are what they are, right? Okay, so now that we have that, we can add an event listener. We can add an event listener to the button. So we're going to say nick button add event listener, and the event listener we will be listening for is click, right, when somebody clicks on it. And so we're going to have a callback, and here we want to say nickname equals, we already declared it above, so we don't have to say let here, and we're going to say nick input dot value, right? Not node, well, we're just gonna say value, right? Oh shit, the fuck. Right, so we have that, and then we can say I could say nick section, right? So we can say nick section. Nick section should be hidden. So we're gonna say style visibility should be hidden, and we should also do chat section visibility. You know, we should hide the nick section, but we should open the chat section instead, right? And then we can say well, actually no, you know what, we can say that we hide nick input, and we can also hide the nick button. We can keep that, come on, we can keep that section open, actually, nick button, and we can say we can create let nickname display equals document create element, and the element we can create is like a span or something, and then we can just say nickname display inner text, we can say equals and then string literal, and we'll say chatting as, and then just insert the nickname. Right. Okay, so that's the only thing is that we can just say upper nickname what was it? Nick section, right? So we're gonna say nick section append child nickname display. Right. Okay, let's try this. Right, what's your name? And I'm just going to say Thomas. Chatting as Thomas. Okay, and now we see this chat display. Right, okay. I mean, it's not beautiful, but it works. Right, what's your name? Tompa. Chatting as Tompa. Okay, good. Right, so now we have the nickname and we can see the chat interface. Awesome. So right, so let's send off a chat then. So we're gonna do something like the chat button, right? We need the chat input and the chat button. So we're gonna say const chat input equals document get element. Ja. Inte än, hon har inte ringt ännu. Jag förstår det, men jag kommer. Okej, puss gubbisen, hon dricker pina colada. Get element by ID, and the ID would be chat input, right? That's the input we wanted. So here we go, and then const chat button equals document get element by ID, and that would be send chat. something like this. Okay. So now we have access to those guys. So we're gonna add an event listener to the chat button, right? Chat button, add event listener. And the event listener here is again click, right? Really? There we go. Whoops, one too many. Come on, give me a fucking break. There we go. Right, so now we have the chat button and we have an event listener. So now we want to say, we want to send off a chat message, right? So we're gonna say connection, send, and what is it we want to send away? Well, we want to send away an object. So we want to send an object, that looks something like this. We want our server to know who said it, right? So we're going to say nick, and that will be the nickname. And then the message will be the chat input value. Right, but we need to send this off, and I don't know if we need to do this, but I guess we need to do this. I think we need to stringify this. So I'm going to say JSON stringify this entire thing. So it is transformed from an object to a string, to a JSON object, basically. Send JSON stringify, right, and I need another parenthesis here, right? And once we have sent this off, we want to clear the chat input. So we can just say chat input is what is value. Well, I can probably reset it or something, but let's just do it like this, right? Oh, sorry. Chat button, event listener, click, connection send, JSON stringify nickname, message, chat input value. Okay, so this is the best case scenario. Let's see this open, and I'm just gonna make this a little smaller so we can see this here. I want to say on in the index.js, I want to say message JSON pass message, and then console table message. Right, console table message, right, and we can remove this. Right, okay, let's see if it works. We should see this side by side. Right, let's open this up again. Chatting as Thomas, set nickname, and we say hello world. Right, and let's see what happens. Well, that didn't. Well, we did get it back from the server, but I was hoping that this would. Oh no, it was set here. Okay, sorry, I was in the wrong thing. This worked. Okay, so this is working. Right. Okay. Good stuff. So we need to clean this up because this is not how we want to see this, right? We just want to see message or something like that. So let's head over to our code again, and in this index.html we are saying on message incoming message data. So here we want to say something like if if this is JSON, so is JSON and is JSON is a method that I need to clarify myself, and I actually have that snippet, but we're gonna take a look at that. So if this is JSON, well, the incoming message dot data, right? We need to see if this incoming message is actually a JSON object, right? So we're gonna deal with this slightly different than a regular text message, because the first message we get is a text message. So I'm gonna move this to the top, and then this in here, and then I have to define a function that is called isJSON. So I'm gonna do this at the very bottom here, and so function isJSON like this. And so here we basically need to what we want to do here. We actually want to debug this. And let's try to do this again. Right. So we are here, and we need to, of course, allow these guys to take a message or item or whatever we want to call this. So I need to reload this. Right, so here we are, and I'm going to go to my console for a second. So we're going to take a look at the item. The item is live long and prosper, right? This is the first thing we got. So type of right. So if item, if we say type of item is string, right? Or can we do item constructor name? Yeah, right. So we can use that. So if this is a regular string, then we just return false, right? So we can say something like if this equals string, if this equals string, then we just return item. No, we return. Fuck. Hold on a second. If this is a string, then we return false. Right. Else otherwise. Right. If this is a string, then we return false. Otherwise, we just hit this guy. Right. So let's go with this to start with. So let's reload. Yes, okay. And now I'm going to say Thomas, and I'm going to set the nickname, and I'm going to say hello, and the else block should kick in now. But it doesn't, because it is still string. Because it is still a string. Right. Right. What? Really? Right, just need to wrap my head around this. Hold on a second. So this is item is h this, right? Okay, cool. And then I say t, we're good. And then I will send off hello. And what do I get here? Well, I get yeah. So I can't really ask for that because I need to try to. Okay, but that's okay. Right. So then then I know what I can do. I can do something else here rather than this. I will just try catch. Yeah, I can try catch this. Try catch. I can do try. Right. I can. Yeah, exactly. I can do item equals item. No, I don't even have to do that. I have to do JSON parse item. Try it for item, and then otherwise we just return false, and then return. Oh fuck. Return true. If this works out, then I return true. Otherwise, I return false because a normal string will not be parsed. So let's see if this works now. Right. So this live long and prosper. T, and then hello. Okay.
Yeah, I think you had a debugger somewhere.
No, this actually returned true, but we don't have anything in the true section yet. Is JSON right? We don't do anything here, so I need to work with that now. Okay, I think this is okay. So here we just want to do message equals JSON parse. I could have done this try catch here. I didn't have to create a I didn't have to create a separate function for this, but never mind, we can work it out later. And then message body message.
I like the glitter when you type,
Once again,
the glitter on your VS Code when you type.
yeah. So I did install this small fireworks thing. I thought it was a great idea, but it isn't actually. So equals, and then string interpolate this, and I will said in message. Right. So I would say So I would say message dot nick colon, and then this, and then message. Right. So message body this, and then we say new message inner HTML, and then I'm gonna move this down, and I'm gonna X this, and I'm gonna say message body message body is this, and this is message body. Right. Let's see if this works now. So let's read this. For new message equals create this is JSON incoming message data message JSON incoming data message body message nick message message body is just this. Okay, good. And then we just set this to this. Okay, this should work. Let's see. Right. So mess as Thomas, set nickname chatting as Thomas, hello, and then we do nothing. Right, because of what? There's an error here somewhere. At position 1, where is the really token O? Really, where is that? That would be here. Let's set the debugger here. Debugger. Right, let's try that again. So much easier with automated tests, people. T and then hello. Right. So if I now just grab this code, go to the console, and thank you very much, Castras, of course. Hey, Cyrus. There should be a link in the Slack chat if you want to join in. Sorry, I missed your message. We're just building a small thing. So first of all, let's have a look. What is the incoming message? Oh, incoming message data. Right, of course. I was parsing the wrong thing. Right. I was parsing the wrong thing. Data. Right, okay. Message and also here. Right. Okay, so this now perhaps we should get this to work. So let's open this up again with to Thomas, and then we say hello. Thomas says hello. Great. Now this is working. Okay, and I can say more stuff and so on. Right. Okay, and I guess right. Okay, so let's see if we can try this out together. You have a very cool name today, Cyrus Mirsad what does it say? Las Casas Filipinas de Acazar.
Not again. 1 second.
Well, it happens. No problems. Right. So, folks, there is this small little application that I can, well, not application, but I can add. There is Mirsad. Hi, Mirsad. So I'm going to stop the server for now, and I'm going to just search for ngrok. Where's my? So we built a very, very tiny vanilla JavaScript chat thingy, and I'm just gonna search for ngrok. Should have it somewhere here on this Mac, and I'm gonna move ngrok into this repository. Where do we have it? There we have it, for instance. This one is okay. This is from this here. So let's move this here. And let's see. So ngrok. How do I do this? No? Should be there. Why not? How do I start fucking ngrok? I mean, did I totally forget how to do that? This should do. Command not found. Well, thank you very much. How do I use you? ngrok. ngrok will allow me to open up a tunnel, so so you guys can actually test this. ngrok. Oh, okay. So it's this ngrok http 8080. Let's try that. Right. So now I opened up a tunnel. I'm just gonna try it myself first. Right, so I'm gonna just use this, and now I will not open a connection to my local host like I did before, but rather open a connection to, where is that? Here it is. To this one. Right. ngrok. This should work. In principle, it should work. Let's see. Okay. That did not work. I've done this before. Why isn't this? Why? Let's see. Yes. Right. Bad gateway, he says. Really? Bad gateway, you say? Right. Not impressed. Bad gateway, he says.
Where is the gateway? Is it on the ngrok server?
No, well, no, it's locally. What am I doing wrong? Could it be VSS? No, it shouldn't be VSS. No, it couldn't be. It couldn't be. It couldn't be. No. Okay, so let's have a look. WebSocket over ngrok. I've done this before. It has worked using with WebSocket or Socket.io, right? ngrok HTTP, right? And so reverse proxy to expose. But what did I say? 8080, right? And I'm running on 8080. So this should web interface on this guy. Wow. Let's have a look what the web interface tells me. No, come on. Failed to complete channel connection. Right, inspector. Bad gateway headers. Replay clear. Binary raw. Tunnel to your ninja, but the client failed to establish a connection to the local address. Localhost 8080. Why? Why did you fail to? Oh, of course. Right. Shit. It's right.
Need to
Ryan,
specify the time.
I didn't.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't have the server started.
Oh yeah.
Shit. Right, there we go. Right.
One of us. One of us. One.
I know. Okay, live long and prosper. Right, Thomas. Right. So, set nickname. Hello. Right. Okay. This is good. So, people, what I would like you to do, if you're interested, is to basically take this code, all of this code. I can send it in. I think I can send it over Slack, or I can actually create a gist out of it. And you know, if you just take that code and create an HTML file anywhere and open it locally, you know, VS Chat HTML. And if you open this locally, why is it a secret gist? I don't want a secret gist. Why did I do a secret? It's not. I don't want a secret gist. Can I change that? Edit. Update. Why can't I make public? There it is. Right. So if you're interested, Raisin, hello Raisin. It's coming along just great fun. It's great. So I will post a link to this gist. And if you would indulge me and create a local file like this one and fire it up in your browser, then we can chat to each other using this server. Would you like to do that for me, people? Anyone? No? No
Yeah,
one?
I'm on it.
Right. Raisin, please do that as well. There's no malicious software in there. There's only a tunnel to my server.
Crypto mining.
Yeah, I will steal all not even crypto. Mine, I will steal all your crypto and your credit card. I don't know what else I can steal.
So gonna
from
install this. Have
Yeah.
it at auto startup.
Exactly. And send out emails to your bosses telling them go fuck themselves. Now I'll be waiting for you, because if you do this and this works, then you should be able to chat with me. Are you worth €100? Well, then that's 99 more than me. Now I'm gonna steal your thesis. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna erase it, Raisin. That's my goal in life. I'm still waiting, folks. How hard can it be? Well, you don't know how good I am at hacking, so I can break into your other computer and eat your food from your fridge while I'm at it.
Did I not send something?
Does it say live long and prosper or anything?
Connection is closed.
Oh, it's because you probably don't use a server, so that's it. I think that Chrome Web Security can prevent you from establishing a WebSocket. Well, yeah. I don't know. What if I push
Are you
this?
using Safari?
So you should be able to use anything, actually. Yeah, sure, Tesla. I will just send this here. But perhaps I need to. Oh, John Wick, what's up? Well, John, Shiba, you fix this. All right, and Raisin, yeah. All right, awesome, folks. This is working. That's amazing. And what Shima, what browser are you on? Chrome. Okay, that's awesome. And Raisin, I guess you're on Chrome too, right?
I
So
don't have Firefox installed.
no, please. Tadeusz, close the fridge. He still wants to steal my food. Hey, I did this. I have to show you. I have to show you. Uh, Instagram. Look at this, folks. I'm so happy with myself today. Where am I? Here I am. Profile. Look at this, folks. Read it and weep. Look at this. You see this? This is the pizza napolitana I did today, together with this chef. Here's the living proof that I made it here, and also I'm putting it into the oven right here. Huh? What do you say about that? Apparently you're making really weird noises here, reaction, right? And Mike is a coach, all right. And the only one left is Mirsad. Where are you? Why aren't you adding this? We need you to spin this up. We're missing you. And we
Actually,
missed
Safari
Tassilo
worked
too.
for me. Firefox too. Chrome wasn't working.
All right. So this is how easy it is to set up a WebSocket WebSocket connection. I mean, we set up the connection ages ago, but we were just fiddling around with some
UI.
with some JavaScript. And there's another reason. Oh, hi. Oh, FBI. So are you connecting with the thesis computer as well now, Raisin? Is that what it is? And Tassilo is with us. That's good. And I assume, Mirza, that you're the FBI person. You are. Good stuff. So we can talk to each other in live, full duplex, everything. No. The little guy, I made the dough. He made the toppings and everything else. He was in charge of all of that stuff. Right.
All our chatting for this class should be on this app alone now.
Absolutely. And the answer to this reason is, of course, if you can flood this chat if you write a demo, write an automated script. So actually, Cypress can be used for web scraping if you want. I would advise against that because web scraping is potentially against some laws somewhere in terms of copyright infringement, but also hacking or whatever. I don't know. But you can use Cypress for that. But that was vanilla JavaScript. Of course, in React we could have built this much simpler. And of course, this is not an optimal code in any way. But why not? We could definitely refactor this and so on. But it's a proof of concept generally. Oh, no images on this one, Mirsad. No, not gonna fly.
I'm trying to do XSS attacks on it.
Well, it was so it was a little bit test driven because I was doing manual tests at all times, right? But because it's I guess it's my nature. Are you trying to execute some JavaScript here? Mirsad, how does it work for you?
Not good.
Not good.
It's safe. It's safe.
It's safe. Yes. Right. No, so you can't inject JavaScript by default in this, but who knows? Who knows? Um, right. Any questions on this, folks? A lot of people are using Socket.io for everything related to WebSockets, and I it's not bad in any way because it's a great service, but you can't get by without using Socket.io. If you just it depends, of course, on your on the use case, what you're looking for, and so on. But and what they kind of they take the level of abstraction even to an even higher place, and they are they make it easier to authenticate users, and you can use rooms and so on. But you can do it here as well in vanilla JavaScript or React. You don't have to use Socket.io. In Ruby on Rails world, we have Action Cable, which is an even higher abstraction of WebSockets, and that's great. But even there, you could in principle use simpler solutions. I have built both React implementations for Action Cable and vanilla JavaScript clients for Action Cable as well. So it's easy to use Action Cable even when you are not using Rails for a full stack application. You can have it side by side with your normal RESTful API if you want, and so on. I don't know much about Socket.io, so I won't be doing demos on that in any way because that would just be embarrassing for everybody involved. But I can, at some point, if you're interested, do more of example in Rails if you want to see that. But also,
Yes,
I could,
please.
in principle, do it in Node.js. Yep, Shima.
I said, yeah, I'd be interested in seeing it in Rails.
Right. Console log water with but here you managed to do. Who did this? Raisin, did you do that? Is that like a markup, like HTML markup, or how did you manage to get this one to navigate like this? I need to check this out. I need to see what it is. Come on, where are you? There you are. Oh, marquee. Okay, that's the. Is this even part of the HTML
Yes, it is.
tags?
It's used like back in the 1990s.
Yeah, I
Bring
remember
back the
HTML1. We used this a lot back in the 90s. When I was building websites. I haven't seen this one in action for ages. And you did a fast one. What's up with the fast one? How do you? That's so amazing. Oh, so you nest them. Wow. That's amazing. It brings back old memories. So yeah, you can, but shouldn't you be able to embed? Let's see. If I just go to YouTube, I should be able to embed something, right? Let's see. Show here, right? Somebody. Where is that? Right. No, no. No porn, people. I don't want to get banned from.
No, it doesn't go to anywhere. It's Anchor link.
Okay. Let's see. Now my computer is slow again. Come on. Come on, get lost. I need to see if I can embed. God damn it. So let's have a look. No JavaScript, people. But this embed should work. And it does. It does work. Can you see it, people? Yeah. All right. I made this one actually.
Yeah, nice one. The biggest thing.
It's all made in After Effects. There, look, there's my face. Själv är bäste dräng som de säger. You know, you do it yourself if you can. Right, so that's it, folks. No, you cannot execute code. No. No, it won't fly.
I will stop.
It won't fly. You can't help yourself, people. Now can you?
No.
Uh,
That's the first thing you do when somebody's demoing stuff where you have an input.
mm,
I know Google did one thing when they have like that, and they didn't check it for XSS, and then all people started to pop up
Yeah.
everywhere.
yeah. I know. I do it as, I also do it. So, all right. Any questions on this, people? If you want the server code, I will push everything up to I will push everything up to GitHub as well. And there are other things, like for instance, if the message is empty, we should disable the send button, and there are a few other things, right? And then of course the testing is a bit tricky, because in Cypress you can't really intercept ongoing connections, right? So there are a few workarounds for this, but I haven't really gotten it to work yet. But I will probably crack that nut soon, because I'm working on on creating a small library for Cypress to be able to test or stub out WebSocket connections. So we'll see about that. Right. So Mike, what do you say? Did you learn anything today?
Yeah. I learned a lot of things plus raising streaks.
Once again?
How do I call it? Mossad has got a lot of alerts popping up on my screen. It's really
Oh, no, you got right. Click me.
yeah.
Oh, you
yeah,
can't.
But
you,
then
you,
yeah.
Oh, there it
really,
is.
Really,
There it is. There's a there's a little bit of JavaScript. Okay, you got it. Because inline JavaScript, and yes, of course, that works. Right. But there's not much you can do with this, though. With JavaScript you don't have much access. Can you? You can't.
You can read the local storage
Yeah, you can read local
and
storage.
get access token and everything from that way, and then
Yeah.
send it to you as a mail. So that's why I never use you always turn everything you put in input into a string.
Yeah.
And if they start adding different stuff, because you can use like regex to check if it's HTML tags or script tag, then you can just remove the message.
So, right. So, what if I just change this to inner? So if I would change this to inner text, no, that wouldn't fly either, right? Would it? Because I'm using inner HTML, which is the problem here, right? That's why you can execute that.
Yeah, what you should is use a string and then maybe have an array where you loop over the messages instead.
Yeah.
Because inner HTML put automatically into the DOM tree.
Yeah, Raisin doesn't think it doesn't fix this, but let's try this, right? Let's if you can change that. Well, I can. It's enough if I change it to inner text, and I'm gonna reload. And if you send one of those pop over things again. Oh no, you see now it treats everything. Yeah, so this fixes the problem, right? So Mirsad, if you send this on mouse over thing, then it shouldn't. Right.
But
So
that is better, because if somebody would send, then you will see it in text and know, okay, somebody's trying to do malicious things.
yeah, then I can just write a function to sanitize this or to get rid of this and all of that BS, right? Yeah,
Because
okay.
inner HTML it acts like eval in JavaScript.
Yeah.
You should never trust the user and always sanitize it. And if you don't do it, better use inner text or turn it to a complete string.
Yeah, I was covering eval in Ruby just the other day. Really dangerous. I mean, we don't want to do that. Right. So now it won't work anymore. So so that was a mistake. Because now exactly my iframe wouldn't work either, right? So yeah. There we go, folks. Thank you very much. That will pretty much cover it for us now. We are still overdue. I will push this up to my GitHub account, and we will try to do something on Rails as well, Shima. Of course, if you are interested in that. That in your application there might be some use cases for WebSocket, definitely.
Sure.
Right. Good. So, as we said, a revolutionary evolution of the internet, because it allows us to keep this connection open, which is something that is not the default thing, because all of these connections are closed as very, very swiftly. So you can see that if you go over to the network tab again and just check for the VS. No, I need to reload. There we go. And if you send something now again, somebody, whatever, we can see those messages connect in here, right? We're still sending those, right? Yeah. And all of these will be made public here. And if I send hello here, we can see that there's an outgoing message, or not. Should be. I don't know why. Oh, okay. I missed that. There we go. Right. Okay. Let's chat a little bit about the project. Mirsad, we've been talking about, me and Tassilo have been chatting. You and Tassilo have been been talking. Let's just coordinate our thoughts a little bit on this one. And there's one notion that I just want to lift up, or one idea. I am all up for rebooting the project and starting from scratch to build it, in the proper way. That's not a bad idea in any way. However, what I want to say regarding this is that we will have a lot of beginner developers on this project, right? And one of the side effects, or one of the good things with working with legacy code, is that we will get people into the habit of reading legacy code. So that's one thing. If we overreach in order to do it super professional, then I'm afraid that the bar and the standard will be so high that it could function as a deterrent. Like, people will go, oh, perhaps I can't really work with this because it's too much of a hustle, and too high standards on certain things. And in one hand, I would say that a rewrite is the right way to go, but on the other hand, I will think that it could be too big of a bite to bite off at this stage. Do you understand how I'm thinking? Like, so I'm thinking that perhaps we should try to do some stuff in parallel. Like, Tassilo found a way to I'm not very proficient in Mapbox at all. I never use it myself, but perhaps we can whitelist or blacklist certain servers and get by with a fairly hacky solution as we have right now, in order to be able to move forward and start working, open sourcing this and start working with the project as it is. Although, on the other hand, I'm worried that every developer would need to create a Mapbox, I don't know, account or whatever, in order to even spin up the local a local server and so on. So I don't know. I don't know which way we should go. Basically, I'm a bit torn here at this stage.
An easy thing would be to add the environment variable with access token, and then everybody would need to just use a free tier of Mapbox. That was the fastest way we can do it, because then you will only have your token, you will have it locally as a test, and the free tier is very generously, so that you could go buy it and still be able to contribute to the project. And the other thing that I want to pinch in when it comes to that, you said that people will be afraid to add stuff to contribute to the code if we keep it very high professional. I would say that you should never fear that, because one day or another, you will face it. Would you rather face it when you're in a
controlled environment? Yes, of course.
Exactly. If it's better you face it in a controlled environment, or that you face it in production and then something happens.
Yeah.
So because the thing is that I went over the code and I added because I looked at, okay, we need to move this whole request thing, instead of the component making the request. We need to move that into the backend. But then we need to redo the components, and then it just spiraled down to we need to refactor a lot of code.
Right.
That's when I suggested we could, because the thing is, we have the full-blown project. We know exactly where everything should be. We have all the stylists and everything. What we need to do is take start taking components out one file by one, and then tearing it down to their own components. And that's where I said we could create. I could set up the whole storybook thing. I could set up a project, and then people will be able to contribute, because we'll there, for example, go with the atomic design pattern. That is a really good pattern to learn at start, because then that pattern will scale. That's the thing that it will be fun to introduce that pattern so that people feel like, okay, this is how a full-blown project work. This is a controlled environment, and then we will create so that you will practice on how to do pull request and like going through review, and then always like explain how your thought process was, how you did this, and then we can like go over it and say, okay, this is how I would think, this is how Thomas would think, this is how we other would think, into refactoring, because then they will go over the whole process on how to do pull request, how the review process works, and how to think.
Yeah. No. That's exactly what we're looking for. So I'm done with that. Now, like, yeah, okay. So a new React app, storybook, and then and a Firebase backend stuff, right? Okay. And like one of the first things that we are, because how big, like, to be honest, how big is the application in terms of logic? You are displaying a map.
Very big, because I went over and added some to do. I have added 60 to do so far. That's where did you go? There. Added like 60 to dos, and that's more of like logic to make it readable, and then all of this stuff like the access token for Mapbox and an access token for the geocode something, because there I noticed was another access token. So all of those thing, it's critical because it's easy to find that. But if we're just gonna contribute to the code, then to be able to start contributing directly, I would suggest like create our own access token key and run it locally. So we just need to set up an environment variable and then just tell people add your access token here, spin up the project, and then it will work. That's the fast way, but there's a lot of logic in the code and a lot of stuff that needs to like break out into your own components, and there's a lot of duplicated code and stuff. So I was looking at like one file that how can I say it was the state, and then there was another set state that like overwritten the whole state, so the initial state will be gone, and that way it will eventually trigger like the app won't work. It will say no, this doesn't exist, and the app will crash. So it like overwrite the whole initial state every time you do another action.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay. So Tassila, what do you say? I mean, so we need to make decisions, right? What and also what community, Raisin, everybody else. What do you guys think about this? Because like we are not really losing the legacy code aspect, because as Mirza says, there is already a project up and running. There's a lot of logic in the projects. That's what I was about to say. And we can, review this, build new solutions to these problems, and I think that could be a good exercise in itself. But I don't know, Tassila. Let's bring this over to you. What are your thoughts?
Well, it sounds really, really great. Like doing it right away, the right way. Also in terms of scaling, this would be just the perfect way. I just wonder, I just fear actually, like what if at the end we're still in the process of redoing the application and not being finished, and then I have like a perfect almost application which is though still not far as functional as the actual one, and then I'm there with a working bad application and a not completely working super good application, and then I would have to maybe like continue by myself, and then what?
Right.
And I think because we have like there's not so much time, right? And I don't know if like also, yeah.
So
like actually, for me, definitely it's more important to have the application as it is right now completely working and scalable than the user stories that we created with blockchain and so on. But like, I don't know, I think it's up to you, but also I think like important, like really important for me would be that like I can, like, that it's not a half application at the end because of time.
Right. Hold on a second now. Mirsad, what do you think?
Yeah, I didn't know about the deadline. It was like less than a month to it. I just found out. I think it was yesterday or today or something. When me and Tesla we talked, and because if I look at like myself, if I'm going to create a whole project from scratch, that is the state that the project is now, I would say like 2 to 3 months to set up everything. But if the community starts helping everything, and then has the 1 month, might be able to pull it off. But then it's also like, since this is more of a exercise for all the community, so they know exactly, okay, this is where we go. It will take more time because since we need to go over stuff, and I can't just like, no, this is wrong, redo it, and then just leave it, because that's not fair to a developer that wants to learn. And this, as you said, this is a controlled environment. So to have the whole deadline less than a month, that might not work.
Okay, so how about this idea then? Let's say that, because I totally agree with Tesla that we need to add a little bit of value in terms of user features, right? I concur with that, but I also agree with you, which puts me in a very split situation, because value is not only things that the user can see, but code quality and maintainability and scalability, right? So there are two things that are, in a way, in this particular case, conflicting with each other because of the time aspect here. And I would love to find a compromise on this, because I think that there is massive amount of things to learn by doing a rewrite, and there is a great deal of things to learn by developing new features and working with legacy code, right? And sometimes, and actually, I would say that both approaches are relevant in real life, because I found myself quite often in situations where I start a new project or new job, and I say, the fuck is this? This is like some shitty code, and my first instinct is, let's rewrite the whole thing. And then the boss says basically what Asilo is saying, no, hold your horses there, young fella, because if we're gonna rewrite, then we're gonna stand still for 2, 3, 4, 5 months, right, without adding any new features to enhance competitiveness or whatever. Do you understand, right? And so therefore we have to take a step back, right, and sometimes do things in parallel. So, and which is exactly what I'm about to propose. Perhaps we can do this. We can work with, improving the quality of this code over time, like covering it with tests, doing refactorings, moving from class to functional, and yada yada, right? And at the same time document the whole thing, and perhaps start to do partial rewrite, which I know is not optimal, because sometimes it's much better to start from a clean state than make renovations, right? Everybody that's been into building houses and construction knows that it's sometimes a renovation is almost a lost cause, right? You need to get everything up and running fresh, right? But for the sake of this team, this project, perhaps we should kind of take a middle road here. There's another thing I want to add, that the deadline of in September, when we finish this work to web training program, is just one. It's a soft deadline, because as we've pointed out in several other occasions, the community lives on, Anya wants to stay involved. I know Mirza does, and everybody else, right? So we can continue to work on this project. I mean, the SHF project and the Website One project are up on the 5th, 6th, and 7th year. So there's nothing stopping us from working on this continuously, right? Uh, and I think that, Raisin is saying that I'd say that the first we would need to catalog the actual features that are already implemented, so we can measure the trade-off as well. I totally agree. However, I don't want to catalog ourselves to death. We need to get going and write some code and get some value, bring some value to the project. Having said all this, it puts us in a position what brings the best value at this point. Security is one thing, new features is another thing, long time maintainability, which would call for a rewrite, is also one aspect that needs to be considered. That's doesn't bring us closer to a decision now, does it?
I'd go for, we do either. I'm not sure, but since we are having new developers in the team, having them probably in two places, learning here and learning there, fixing bugs here and creating new features there. I'm not sure if it will not be so confusing, but yeah, I would be like, we maybe choose and go for refactor, because yeah, 1 month deadline right now won't be so realizable, but yeah, I will just go for the refactor if all fingers point like we need to refactor this code. So we just do a new complete overhaul of the code base.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, just my thought. Yeah, but yeah.
I got you. We don't want to put this into ever never ending discussion. I would say that we can make one decision today. Let's move all the sensitive stuff over to env variables. Use free tier of Mapbox. Let's open source the whole thing, right? That I think that is the decision we should make. Create a README with instructions for developers how to spin this up and so on. That can be the outcome of today's discussion. Then we can sleep on it until Saturday, and we can make a decision whether we only do refactoring, because at the end in my head I'm boiling this down to two decisions. Either we only do the refactoring, or we do refactoring and rewrite in parallel. Do you understand? I wouldn't say that let's scrap the whole thing and just do a rewrite. That is too much of a thing, right? Now, and what we could do here is we can have the normal flow, and then some of us that are feel like seniors or want to go into this, cataloging features and all of that, because there's a lot of documentation that needs to be written and stuff, right, in order to get that to work. That in itself can be an interesting learning experience for some, but people can choose then what they want to focus on. I would say. How does that sound, Tassilo?
To me, that sounds great. To me, actually, like any improvement of either features or like refactoring and enhancing the code base is like a super great win for the project. So I'm actually happy with any decision you make.
All right.
And I think it's completely up to you.
Is my proposal for moving into env and free tiers of Mapbox acceptable, Mirza? Do you think that that can fly, so we can get started with something?
Yeah, I think that's a very good approach to start with, because then you have the project as it is, and then can look into refactor or adding feature, but the project is still available, and they can't use the access token to
Yeah. Yeah.
So then you can just use their own at the local environment instead.
Raisin, you've been working on this a little bit already. I know you're listening on Twitch. Write down your thoughts if you think that this is a viable solution. John Wick, Chima, what do you say? Not much. Okay, cool. Daniel, you want to weigh in on this? It's a bit of a
Yeah, well,
compromise. Yeah, go ahead, Daniel.
yeah, for me, is that of getting a grasp of what the project is all about. I seek first to understand, and I'm just in a confused position now. I'm trying to catch up, doing all the stuffs I can. So if I get clarity and know what to do, then I'll be fine. So
Gotcha.
yeah, that's just me. Thank you.
Gotcha. No, thank you very much for that. It is a bit of an enigma for me too, mostly because I do not speak German. No, I'm kidding. We can, we will definitely make sure that everybody's on board, and I think that this onboarding document is really important. So we need to make that happen. And again, Tesla, this will fall a little bit on you, employing either Mirsad or me or both of us. Somebody needs to take a lead on this. But creating a set of instructions of how people can get started with working on this is really important. Raisin, when are you due with your thesis? When can we ask you to start hacking on this project? That would also be a good to know thing in terms of a time frame, because I know that you are eager to dive into coding as well. Oh, so you wrap it up on Saturday. Well, that's quick. Okay, so could you? I assume that you will have a little more time to spend playing chess with me and working on this project after Saturday. That's going to be fantastic.
Sorry, I had trouble with my microphone.
Go ahead, Shima.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask: is the 1 month deadline, was that set by us or by Tassilo?
No, it's neither by, depends of course how we define us, but or Tassilo. It's like there's an end of the work the web um, training program in September.
Because I was saying we kind of already agreed to keep working if we had to beyond that point on the project.
Exactly. Even past that date, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but what we need to do what we need to work on once we are done with the work the web program. I mean, at the graduation, we need to present our work, the outcome
Oh,
that
yeah,
we covered
yeah.
this, and that, and we started to work on Senf, and we did this overhaul, shitload of discussion. We didn't know what to do. We decided upon a compromise, right? So probably somebody should document all of this, but it is documented because it's recorded. And then we did this refactoring stage. We looked into blockchain technologies. We did this, and that. So that's going to be a bit of a presentation, right? That we want to do. But then, once the after party is over, the everyday work kicks in, and as a community, open source community, we can just continue to work on this project. And the modus operandi of Agile Ventures is basically, let's say I have 10 hours 1 week to put to devote to a project, then I do it. Next week, perhaps I have 20 hours, and the week after that, I have 0 hours because I'm writing a thesis for some reason, right? And so on. So, and that's the thing, that we want to be able to split every feature down to smaller components, smaller features, and be able to just grab something from the box, from the wish list, uh, and deliver it, and then off I go. Some people can spend 40 hours a week, some other can spend 2 hours a week, right? So that's why we need a fairly big 6, 7, 8, 9 people in a dev team so we can work on this project together. But I think we hammered out a compromise, right? Which I think I'm very glad for that.
Your
Let's
parallel proposal?
go ahead, Shima.
I said, is that by compromise you mean the what you said about parallel?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Let's move this over to a shareable state by assuming that every developer can use a free tier of Mapbox, and just make it happen, with in terms of .env variables. Try to deploy it. I know Tesla tried to deploy this to Netlify, run into some issues with env variables. So we can do a session on this either early tomorrow morning, Tassilo, or late tomorrow night, so we can get this to work for us. Okay, to make a deployment.
Yes, sounds great.
All right. I'll ping you when I get up. It's 7 o'clock UTC. That's when I start to work. So or a little before 7 o'clock UTC actually. So we can try to get into a session tomorrow, if you're awake. I don't know.
I think tomorrow from 10 a.m. German time, I am not anymore available until the evening.
Okay. I'll
Unfortunately.
try to ping you before that then. Okay. If that's
Okay,
possible.
perfect.
Right.
Yeah, the earlier the better.
Gotcha. Okay, boys. No girls today. Unless there are some in the chat. I don't know. But that will be it. That will be it for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope that the WebSocket exposure, the small demo, was fun enough to stick around for, and I think that the discussion afterwards about the project was valuable. Robotic, thank you for sticking around. Australia calling, that's awesome. Tassilo, you raised your hand. Let's hear your comment.
Yeah, there's actually one more thing I would have to be asking, which is setting up a test environment with test data so that we don't mess around with the content that is live out there.
We're gonna
It's
try
just
to
setting up another project in Firebase.
yeah. Mirsad, you're gonna have to help us with that because I can't do it myself. A staging server basically, so we don't mess with real data. Even even if the theory is that we make all calls local and stub them out and mock them out, you never know if somebody fucks up, and me included. So we need a staging server for this. And I assume that there is a way just to copy everything over to another project, isn't it? Or
Yeah,
at
the
least the
thing is that
structure.
you just need to create a new Firebase project and then just replace the Firebase config file.
Yeah.
And then you can just add your own points. You don't need to have all the data that's in there. You just have your own points.
Good stuff. I'm looking forward to this because as you guys know, I haven't used Firebase before. Right. Okie dokie, boys. That's it. Thank you very much for today. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Twitch people. Thank you, YouTube. Love you all. See you Saturday.
Thomas?
Yeah.
Yes, it's John Wick again.
Your sound is really, really low again.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, it's about website 1.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so when are we going to get access to that projects page again for my branch?
That's like 2 or 3 days ago I should have finished that, but it's I'm falling behind. I'm gonna.
I understand.
So let me let me I have to work my way through some other projects, and and so, but I will try to put in an hour or two either tonight or tomorrow morning before lunch at least, and get this over and done with, because it's all on me at this point, basically.
Okay, so there's nothing else I need to do now.
Not at this point, no, no.
Okay,
It's all on me.
that's
All
fine.
the refactorings are on me at this point.
I was hoping I could do more, just because the it might sound silly, but I did learn a lot from that small, that
I
initial
will set
experience.
up a session so you and I can talk you through what I'm doing, and so hopefully you learn from this. And once we're done with this PR, there are
Yeah.
consequent features that we can work that are related to this functionality. I'm sorry for being the blocker, but I am the blocker for you at
No,
this
it's
point.
fine. I
No, no,
understand.
but
You're a busy
it's
man.
it is what it is,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So the more I can do, and the more experiences that I can have, it would be great.
That's what it's all about. We'll fix that for you.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, man.
Now,
So
now it's goodbye, people.
yeah. Good
All
night, guys.
right. Cheers. So long.
Cheers. Bye bye.
Cheers.